Welcome back. Accused killer Bryan Kohberger back in court today for a high-stakes hearing in his upcoming murder trial. The judge hearing arguments over what evidence should be presented to the jury, including Kohberger's Amazon search history. Now, Kohberger is accused of fatally stabbing 4 University of Idaho college students in November 2022. He's been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary. A not guilty plea has been entered on his behalf. Joining me now from Boise, Idaho, is ABC News Live anchor Kana Whitworth. Kana, thanks so much for being with us. I know it's been a very busy day in court. You were inside that courtroom. What was it like today?
Yeah, Eva, clearly this is a huge evidentiary hearing. Critical decisions are being made today. It's quite tense, but as Judge Hippler moves, it's at a fast pace. He is making some pretty serious decisions today. The courtroom is full. There's reporters in there as well as family members, in particular the family members of Kaylee Gonzalez. And everyone is sort of waiting on pins and needles for each decision to be made. And I will say that during the break, Eva, Kaylee's father said he's very pleased with the pace that this is moving today, and they're happy that they can walk away at least with some decisions made today.
And we are looking right now, as you speak, to some live images inside of that courtroom right now. Today's arguments are focused on what evidence the jury will be allowed to see. And we mentioned Kohberger's Amazon search history. There's some DNA testimony. What are the issues here, and how do prosecutors want to use this evidence?
So actually, as you say that, Eva, I'm glad you're showing that video because the Amazon arguments are being made right now as we speak. The defense is making their arguments first. They do not want Bryan Kohberger's Amazon search history and click history to be entered into evidence. They don't want it presented to the jury, in part because they argue anyone in his family could have been using that Amazon account. But the prosecution says that Bryan Kohberger bought a K-bar style knife along with a sheath and a sharpener 8 months prior to the murders. And they also say, Eva, that they can actually provide witness testimony from someone who will say it was, in fact, Bryan that made that purchase. And that also came up earlier today, Eva, in light of the fact that the defense wants to make sure Bryan Kohberger can have family members behind him when this trial starts this summer. And part of the argument from the prosecution there is, well, if we have to call some of his family members as witnesses, then they can't be in the courtroom at trial. But it seems like, Eva, the judge said in the humanity of it all, he is going to allow his family members to be in court.
Kana Whitworth there in Idaho, thank you so much for joining us. You've been on this one from the very beginning. Be sure to check out Kana's podcast about this case called The King Road Killings. You can listen to the series now wherever you get your podcasts.